You've had an eclectic career as a painter, musician, writer, and now a video artist. How would you describe yourself?
Exploration is very important for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Why now video art? What attracted you to the medium of video?
I felt always attracted by movies. 15 years ago, it was my first start with analog technique, and I failed. What I wanted to do was not possible, since the technical possibilities are available, advanced possibilities. It made sense again for me to start. It was always in my mind, and so the moment came and I thought, okay, now I do a video. I started with literature clips, and it moved very quick to a lot of different experiments to find out what is my main interest in that, with that possibilities I'm offered.
As an artist of any type, what do you think the most important quality is to have?
The most important quality is to take yourself serious.
Uh-huh.
You can play, but you can only play very, very consciously.
Mm-hmm. Well, that leads to the next question. Picasso said that he'd been born with the ability to draw like Raphael, but had spent the rest of his life learning to draw like a child.
Yeah.
What do you make of that statement? What are your feelings about that statement?
I liked it very much, this idea. When you work a lot, what I think normally most of the artists have to do, and video art is a lot of work, it's normal that you, in several ways, you get better. And in the moment, you achieve a certain perfection. What I think it's an important aim to achieve a perfection. But in the moment you have achieved it, you see that something is wrong, that the thing is not about perfection. Perfection is coming by itself, by working. Mm-hmm. And so you have to go back to this idea to do something more like a child.
What do you think in this day and age, or in any age? I mean, adults can learn from children, whether it be now or in the past. What is it that is important to remind ourselves of when we are looking at our children, observing our children, either creating art or doing something else? What can we learn from them?
They have another time feeling, and so they are more able to go out of the continuum. Mm-hmm. What means they are more in the moment.
What are you trying to achieve as an artist when you're working either with your video art or as a writer? What is it that you are trying to achieve?
So as a grown-up artist, I have only one possibility: to work to go on working, because there's always something you can find in your work you can do better, or it's an alchemistic work.
When you're in the process of creating one of your portraits or something else, at what point do you feel, when do you know that it's time to stop?
I believe I have a sense in my work for more and less energy.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's an idea, or for example a face, when I make a portrait, it's not an idea, there is something. Or there is a person with an idea of himself, I don't know. And maybe it's an energy work. I have to make decisions in every tiny little moment. How to do that? How to do that? What color? What shape? And how do I arrange that?
A moment when you just think, right, can't do any more, that's it. You run out of possibilities, and therefore that's the reason why you stop. Or are you trying to achieve some aesthetic or visual quality that you recognize when you've got it, and you go, yeah, I've got it now?
I can never talk about a perfection because there is no end.
Mm.
And what does it mean? Sometimes to do something doesn't make the thing better.
Mm. So do you consciously, when you've got to a point where you think it's not progressing, do you consciously destroy it, break it down, find something else? Or do you just put it to one side?
My material is digital, so it doesn't take a lot of space.
Mm.
Sometimes it's worth to put a thing away for a while and just to let it work.
Mm. In your portraiture, what is it that you're trying to bring out? What is it you're trying to reveal about the sitter? Is it conscious, or maybe it's not conscious? Do you have an idea of what you feel about the person, and then when you feel you've captured that in the images, you stop? Or is it not conscious at all? Is it just a visual thing? Or
No.
is there some quality that you want to try and bring out in the character?
Yeah, I want to bring out a quality. Yeah.
Mm. Is it a visual quality, or is it a personality quality?
No.
No,
I think this is a problem with faces. It's not only a saying to say the face is the most significant part of the body, what shows about your feelings. Other parts also show a little bit about your feelings, but not in that way. And so why do I make a portrait? There are two persons, the artist, me, and the person I make the portrait of. And in that moment we are one. What I do, a part of that artificial facilities, is to find out the point of power, and what power it is.
I think one of the things for me is that the portraits are not about recognition of the character. There are portraits of people that you've done who I know, and there are portraits of people that I don't know. And it's not, for me, particularly interesting if I recognize the person. What is very powerful about this development that you've created, process that you've created, is that it seems to pull out some other quality in the face or the head of the person. We've talked about it before, like a more sculptural quality, but I also think you managed to sort of find the nobility in a person's head, to the extent that, and I suppose you could say, well, all great portraiture has done this up to a point. What becomes a good portrait, for me, in your work, is where I get this great sense of the person's nobleness. The nobleness of the shape of their head, the feeling, quality that exists within that form. So it wouldn't matter whether the person was a well-known character, a famous character, or a totally unknown character.
No, that doesn't matter.
What is fascinating is what is revealed about that form. Because, you know, every head has the potential to be fascinating. And I think that this process that you developed really pulls that out. So the other day I asked you whether you would be interested in doing portraits of well-known characters, and you said, well, yeah, if that was a possibility, I would. But then on reflection, I thought myself, well, that's really not what your portraiture is about. It's about, it would be fascinating to have a portrait of somebody well-known, to see how that well-known face that we're all familiar with compared to somebody totally unknown. And it could well be the case, and I believe that it would be the case, that the unknown person would probably be as interesting and fascinating to watch in this form that you developed as a well-known face.
It's interesting that you said it's not about the character of a person. I didn't think about that, and therefore I find it interesting that you say that, and I agree. It's not a psychological artwork, and I don't want consciously to find out something about the person. It's a process working in itself that by the crafts of so-called art or some unknown facilities I don't know about, to seek also something general. I'm seeking for something noble, in the meaning of, not noble of good or bad, or in moral meanings, but noble in the way of mysterious existence. What I feel. I feel it permanently, it doesn't matter. I want to understand the other person, but there's permanently the feeling of the more I understand, the less I understand. And it's a miracle, it's a mystery. And so maybe this is a general topic in my work. This I'm interested in what I call mysteries. Things I can't explain, but I feel, yeah, wow, there is some flame, some hidden, or something that, or something is, or there is a mysterious balance, or there's just things like that. And if one can see it, great, I would like. And but it's something. It's not intellectual. It's a mystery. It's something. Yeah, something about time and space. And
how would you define amateur versus professional?
Amateurs
versus professional.
I have very little understanding for that. This is something, part of civilization, where I think that something in life is not in balance. And so a farmer is a farmer, And maybe he has time in winter to paint a picture, and he's a talented painter, and he paints a tiny little flower and hangs it up. All that is in balance. And amateur, this is something, I think we live in a time where it's in a very amateur time. Time for doing things with some knowledge, half, and when you come from craftsmanship, so I think it makes a sense to say professional is to do something right. It doesn't matter what it is. I say, let's do it in the best way. And the amateur thinking is, oh, I also want to be a photographer. I want to make good photos. For what? You can make, every second I could make photos of something. Everything is interesting. Oh, there's a mountain, there's it, oh, a leaf. And why not photographing everything? For what? And so it's this hobby and amateur feeling. It's for me, it symbolized something half, to do the half thing, to do a thing what is meant different.
But if you define amateur and professional, as many people do, on the basis that one is paid work and one is non-paid work, amateur is done for love, professional is done for money. Do you think that is a useful definition? Do you think it's a worthy definition? So, I mean, could it be the case that somebody creates something, does something that they don't receive money for, but it could be more valid and possibly more interesting than something that is done professionally, something that is done for money?
Therefore, I said it depends on the meaning of the words. I like more to use other words, like seriousness. This is to take yourself serious, or when you do what we said about portraits, to take your face, your countenance, to take it serious. I say, okay, so it is. And this is for me, this is of value, and whether it is paid or not paid, commercial. So that makes a big difference of what is commercial, and it's the other hand, art, to do artwork brings always the problem how to commercialize it, partly just to do that artwork.
3 very quick questions. What's, if you knew you only had one opportunity left to see a film, which film would you choose?
The last film I could see, maybe Orson Welles. Doesn't matter, Citizen Kane, for example.
Yeah. And the piece of music?
Something from Led Zeppelin, maybe. Or maybe.
Painting?
Caspar David Friedrich. Or William Turner.
Really?
Yeah.
So which?
Okay, I make the decision for William Turner.
Any particular painting?
No, it doesn't matter. Some of us dusty sea paintings.
That's interesting. Well, that's it. I have no more questions.
Okay, thank you.